President Volodymyr Zelensky claims accountability must be inevitable for Russia, accusing troops of committing the most terrible war crimes since World War II. During an address to the UN Security Council, the president spoke on the alleged war crimes in Bucha after hundreds of bodies were found in and around the city. He claims Russian forces killed anyone who tried to protect Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky questioned the value of the 15-member council, which has been unable to take action over the invasion due to Russia's veto power.
It's obvious that the key institution of the world, which must ensure the coercion of any aggressor to peace, simply cannot work.
Russia's UN ambassador has dismissed the accusations of war crimes, saying they're a lie. Russia claims they are carrying out a special military operation that aims to destroy Ukraine's military infrastructure and denazify it. Joining me now in the Canberra studio is the ambassador of the Ukraine in Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Ambassador, thank you for your time. Welcome to Australia. You've only been here a week or so. Russia's denying these claims of war crimes, but the evidence seems clear for all to see.
Absolutely, but we are not surprised that Russians are denying it. They deny everything they are doing in Ukraine, all the crimes they are committing. You know, I'm a Rotary member club, and today in my group on Viber, I get a message about a group of kids who were evacuated from Irpin. They have their parents were killed, kids were raped, tortured. The oldest one is 14, and the others are even younger. And in my Rotary Club, we are talking how we can support those kids who've been traumatized and are now in Poland and they need assistance. So we're raising money in the club for them. But there are many stories like that. And I'm just sharing the one that I got like 30 minutes ago, which is really horrific, appalling crimes. Russia must be kicked out of the UN Commission on Human Rights, and the vote will be tomorrow. I really share the call of my president to kick Russia of the Security Council as a permanent member. We questioned that. There was no succession plan after the Soviet Union collapsed that Russia could take that seat, and that must be revisited.
When you see the international support that's being extended to Ukraine, obviously Australia among those providing military, humanitarian aid, and expanded following the speech of President Zelensky to our parliament last week, with Bushmasters also going to Ukraine now. But despite the intensity of the support, the intensity of the sanctions against Russia, their aggression continues. Is there any sign of a breakthrough to stop this violence?
Look, what Ukraine needs now, we need more weapons, we need more heavy artillery. We need, today, Czech Republic confirmed they are supplying Ukraine with tanks and armored personnel vehicles, and we are getting tanks. So this is the first country which is actually supplying us with those tanks. We are very thankful to Australia for the Bushmasters. The numbers will be announced shortly, and we'll hear about the numbers of that. We need heavy weapons to be able to defend our people. Russians are on road to destroy the country. This is not a special military operation, and nobody trusts those preposterous allegations they are making. They are there to destroy our sovereignty, and we are protecting our country, and that's their plan. They are just using it as an operational pause. They will regroup, and they will mount another assault on the country. So you
don't believe there's any chance of a peace deal?
I don't see any prospect of a peace deal in the foreseeable future. I think we need to keep on fighting, and we have to have our military capabilities at the necessary level to be able to inflict damage to the Russian troops, which are now terrorizing our country. We don't know what's happening now in all the occupied territories, which occupied by the Russians. We may see crimes as heinous as those we've seen in Bucha and Irpin. We are just not aware of that yet.
Horrific.
And many countries in Europe have now ejected Russian diplomats. Over 310 diplomats have already been ejected from the EU countries since the outbreak of the war.
So what's the mood like? What has surprised so many people, certainly in Australia, I think if it's fair to say around the world, has just been the resilience, the bravery, the fight of your people.
Well,
what's the mood like? Are they being able to hold up in the face of this hostility and these heinous crimes?
The resilience of Ukraine comes from the fact that Russia has been waging war for the past 8 years. So we have already had this. 14,000 people were killed in this past 8 years. So the population overall, of course, our civil defense and generally resilience of the society was at a very high level. And of course, we are there protecting our country. We've seen it in our history many times before when Russians destroyed our sovereignty and our statehood in the past. That's not the first time it is happening. But now we are very concerned about the messages coming from Russia about their plan of how to solve the issue of Ukraine. They recently published an elaborate article where they detail how they're going to denazify Ukraine. And this is, of course, all ridiculous, given that Ukrainian president is a Russian-speaking Jew, and we have elected him through the democratic elections. Yeah. All we are doing in there, we are protecting our democracy, our freedom, and our choice to pursue European integration. That's what Ukrainian people want.
When you look at the Russian side of things, obviously Putin as the dictator, the autocrat, there are elements, quite widespread support for Ukraine in the opposition movement and so on. But really it comes down to whether or not they can get rid of Putin, doesn't it?
There is no opposition in Russia. It's gone. There is nobody there to oppose him. The support of Putin's war in Ukraine is over 80%. I haven't received a single message from my Russian friends about this. The only Russians who've ever written me were those who live abroad. But look, no opposition. There is no succession plan. The country is doomed. He's actually taken Russia to the level of the Soviet Union at those last days when it was collapsing. He's done so much damage for the country. And I don't know when Russia will be able to repair that reputation, probably many generations ahead of time. And of course, we as Ukrainians will never be able to forget or forgive for these war crimes that Russian troops are committing in Ukraine.
I can see why. Ambassador Myroshnychenko, thank you. Welcome to Australia, as I say, and thank you for your time. We'll speak to you soon.
Thanks a lot for having me.